What's going on, guys? Architecture here with my review of Anthem. So start things off when it comes to this review. This is all off top of the dome. There's no script, there's no planning. It's just all top of the dome, just going at it. And this can lead to a long review or a short review. Could just be end up being a rant. So unless you've been under a rock, you know that Anthem has had a very bad release, bad launch. It didn't launch the way that I thought it would. Didn't launch the way I hoped it would. Back when the private beta was a thing, when the open beta was a thing, I defended this game to the T about, hey, this is a beta, this is a demo, these things are going to get fixed before the final release. Final release comes around and the game actually got worse, not better, when it comes to how the game performs. So to start things off this review, I want to talk about those issues. I want to talk about what you could be looking forward to when it comes to cutting on Anthem and things not working properly before I get into, the story, the graphics. Is it good? Is it bad? I want to talk about what I think is the hugest flaw, the Achilles heel of Anthem. And that's the game's performance. It has freezing issues, has lag issues, there's infinite loops. There's a lot of things that's wrong with this game under the hood. And I'm not a developer, first and foremost, but I have enough common sense to know that some of these things are things that you wouldn't even expect to happen to a AAA title. Like, I know we had Battlefield 4's launch and that was god awful. We had Fallout 76 launch and that was beyond awful. And here we are with Anthem's launch, and it's like, how are we at this point in 2019 with a full release game that had a closed alpha, a private demo, and an open demo, and yet it somehow got worse when it comes to the game's performance? So to give some ideas of what I'm talking about or in my experience with the game and these issues, midnight release. You start the game off, you're doing this basically a tutorial. I get basically to the end of the tutorial and then the game crashes. Now I have to do the entire tutorial over again. And the second time around, it works pretty fine. I get the tutorial. So I play the game for about a couple of hours. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning at this point, and then it crashes again. I'm like, okay, I kind of expect this to happen. Not a big deal. So I'm doing like another mission or two. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed because it's 4 a.m. You're not gonna just keep playing. So later into the next day, basically the launch of Anthem, I got on that night and it was bad. It was really bad. I couldn't even get into the game for the most, because when I launched the game, it just kept crashing, and I'll cut it off, cut it back on, it would crash again. And for like 2 to 3 minutes, it just kept doing that same loop of crashing. So I said, screw it. Went to go play something else, think I play like FIFA or some shit like that. Excuse my language. And then I came back to Anthem after I got done doing that, and I was able to get into the game. Played like a mission or two, then it crashed again. This is the issue that Anthem has right now when it comes to the day it launched to now. It crashes a lot. They came out with an update a day ago, I think. It was either Sunday or Saturday. They had a 4 gig update that was supposed to fix crashing, but literally that exact same day when that update came out, I crashed on the second I launched the freaking game. And it just gets worse from there. I had a game of Anthem where I was playing, and it locked up. It didn't even crash entirely. It locked up. I was in the middle of a mission with one friend and 2 randoms, and I literally carried them throughout the entire mission, and they're dying nonstop. And I beat the final boss while they're still down, and then my character just stops moving. He locks up. Everyone around me is moving around perfectly fine. I can hear everyone perfectly fine. The game's running perfectly fine in terms of everyone around me. My character just locks up and stops moving. Then the sound just dies out. I'm like, okay, my character's not moving. The sound's dead. My friend says I'm running in place. I'm confused as shit what's going on. Then it just crashes. Try to start it up again. Doesn't cut on. Try to start it again. Doesn't cut on. Try to launch another game. That game won't start. So whatever happened in that moment, it just like locked up like my entire system. Had to like restart my entire console, and then it started working again. So when I say Anthem has issues, these are the issues that this game has. Is the crashing, it's the bugs, it's the glitches. There's a looping glitch where I had this issue once. So it's not something that's repeated like crashing does, but this is recently. This is on, I want to say Monday. It was Monday night or Sunday night. I was playing Anthem, trying to do a mission, and then I would try to like me and the people I'm playing with are trying to get to like a certain location where the waypoint's telling us to go. Every time we got to that waypoint, it respawned us back to where we were already at, telling us that we're leaving the mission boundary. We completed what we were supposed to complete in that mission area. So we moved on. We tried to move on at least. It just kept looping through that over and over again. It just kept forcing us to respawn over and over again. And it was just so frustrating that I didn't play Anthem for at least for a full day. Like I literally went the next day without playing any video game because I was just so irritated with Anthem. So leaving that behind, leaving that topic of what is the biggest issues that this game has, what's the big issue that's drawing reviews down for this game. I want to get that out of the way first, so you know, front and center. We're not going to be sitting here kissing Bioware's butt cheeks. We're not going to be sitting here, praising Bioware like I usually do when it comes to me talking about Bioware, because I love that company. I'm a huge Bioware fanboy. I play their games so much. I have so many hours logged into Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Jade Empire. All when it comes to their games, I'm playing it. Like you can go back and watch my review of Andromeda. I gave that game a 9. And realistically, that's probably a honeymoon thing because it was Mass Effect and I love Mass Effect. So realistically, I think it's probably like a 7. But I gave it a 9 because I love Bioware and I'm just that big a fanboy of Bioware games. So letting you know right now what those issues right there. This is not going to be a review where I'm just kissing Bioware's butt. Those are the biggest issues of Anthem. So, how does the game perform in terms of its story? Well, the story isn't even bad. Now, you might hear some people say, it's kind of lackluster, it's kind of boring. The story itself is pretty good. The voice acting is fine. I like there's no bad characters. When it comes to the NPCs of this game, there are no bad NPCs. Every NPC in this game serves a purpose, and they did a good job with what we're supposed to be doing. When it came to your main character, she or he is a good character. When it comes to Halleck, he's a great character. I love Halleck. The Schaefer peoples, not Schaefers, I think that's what they call. I think they're called Schaefers. But there's the chick, I forget her name. She's a great character. Then there's your guy. His name's Owen. I'm sorry, I'm just off the top of the head trying to just get all this up in my head. Owen's a great character, and you experience him. You deal with him basically throughout the pre-alpha, the beta, the private beta, and the majority of the full game. You deal with Owen. He's a great character. His development's great. They do a very good job of developing these characters and making them seem important. So when it comes to the characters, they're all great. NPCs are great. The villain, he's great. The story itself could have been longer, in my opinion. There could have been more interactions with it. There could have been more cutscenes with it. I kind of feel like they kind of took. You often hear people talk about when it comes to this game, comparing it to Destiny. I feel like when it came to cutscenes, this game was a lot like Destiny, where it's like there's not a lot of cutscenes to begin with, and when they are there, it's just kind of like really short, and it could have been better. It could have been. I'm used to when it comes to Bioware to have nice thought out, engaging cutscenes, and this game didn't have that. So the visuals, graphically, the game's beautiful. There's nothing to talk about when it comes to this game's graphics because it's obvious. You can look at my gameplay. It's Xbox One S gameplay, and it looks phenomenal. When I play the game, I'm literally just always looking at the foliage, looking at the scenery in the background, looking at the water. Everything about this game is visually, the landscape, everything about it is beautiful. I cannot take away from Bioware when it comes to that. It is a beautiful game. It's an outstandingly graphically astonishing game. What do you expect? This is where it's 2019. The pinnacle. I want to say the pinnacle. Not the correct word to use. It should be expected from a AAA game to have beautiful graphics in 2019. If your game looks like trash in 2019 because of graphics, that's a problem. So visually, it's what you should expect from a AAA title. It's a beautiful looking game. Combat. The combat is phenomenal. The combat is flawless. The combat is just great. I said it before. I don't know if I made a video about it, but I said it before to friends that this game performs in terms of combat like Mass Effect Andromeda, but better. It's Mass Effect Andromeda combat, but better. It's phenomenal. I love just getting into fights. When you get into a gunfight in this game, it's crazy. It's crazy in a good way. It's an amazing feeling when you get into combat in this game. It's very engaging. It's very when it's working. When it's lagging, it can be pretty frustrating. But when it's not lagging, when the game's running smooth, getting into combat in Anthem might be one of the funnest combat moments in all of gaming. To me, you have Titanfall. Titanfall's combat is insanely amazing. Anthem's combat also insanely amazing. When it comes to these kind of style games, these shooters, usually shooters are just point, click, shoot. but when it's engaging, when it's fun, that's when it's great. When it comes to Anthem's, the best thing about this game outside of the visuals is its combat. It's amazing. Especially and when it comes to javelins and in these combat situations, when you're using your storm. Oh, I play storm. I main storm, and when you're playing storm and you're in combat, it is insane. And I haven't touched the other javelins yet, so I can't talk too much about the other javelins. But I have a friend who plays Interceptor, and I see him playing Interceptor. He looks like he's having a lot of fun. He looks like he's enjoying himself. He looks like he likes the Interceptor. I think he played the Colossians. They look like they're really enjoying themselves. They look like they love that character. So when it comes to just pure fun, the javelins are fun. When it comes to the combat is amazing. When you use their abilities, like when it comes to this review, you're going to see nothing but gameplay of me just using my abilities, and it's amazing. I love the Storm's ability so much. I spend most of my time nowadays just not even shooting at all, just running around just spamming abilities because I don't care about shooting because I'm a freaking Storm, and it's amazing to watch his abilities go on to work. So what about the flight? The flight is something that people do care about. One of my friends who doesn't have the game yet, he asked me, how is flying in Anthem? It's flawless. The flying in Anthem is perfect. It's not difficult. There's no learning curve. It's not laggy. It's not weird. It's not clunky. It's not stiff. All it takes is pressing 2 buttons, and also you're flying. It's literally that simple. It's great. I really enjoy flying around in Anthem. It's a great experience to fly around. There's a lot of times in a free play, I'm just flying. I'm not even caring about collecting anything or doing missions. I'm just going to fly around and enjoy the scenery. Because the visuals are that good, and the flight mechanics is that simple and that great and that perfect that you can just do that. So to wrap this up, because I don't want this review to be too long, if I had to give Anthem a score, because you guys know me, I'm getting to a point when it comes to reviews where it's like, I don't think it's fair to give any game a score because there's so much that goes into what can dictate a score. You can be a game that's 8 out of 10 and still be kind of mediocre because there's other things that goes on with that game. So it's kind of complex. It's weird and it's kind of hard to explain. Maybe you understand what I'm trying to say. So, but if you're one of those people who care about give me a score, I don't care if it's just good, I don't care if it's just bad. I want a score. I will say Anthem right now is an 8 out of 10, and it will be a 9 if not for the crashing and the lag knocks it down to an 8. It will be a 9 if it ran perfectly. It can never be a 10. As beautiful as the game is, as amazing as the combat is, as amazing as flying around is, as great as NPCs are, as okay as the story is, the fact that the story is just okay, it can't be a 10. An amazing story would have made it a 10. But the fact that it has all the lag, all the crashing that it has, and all the just under the hood issues, plus a okay story, Anthem is just an 8. It's a good game that's worth playing. And right now, when it comes to just the base of the game, it's a good. I would say go out and buy it. But it's going to get a lot better. I expect Anthem to increase in being a better game. It's going to have new expansions for it. It's going to have all these DLCs, and all the DLCs for this game are free. So if you think you gotta buy a season pass for Anthem and you gotta buy all these DLCs, you don't. All the DLCs for Anthem are going to be free. It's going to be one of those live service games where they're just constantly updating the game, constantly adding new things to the game. There's a whole roadmap for the game that you can look into. So when it comes to Anthem right now, in my opinion, the base game is just a good game. It's nothing special, not amazing. It's just a good game that has a lot of potential. It has so much potential. When it comes to comparing Anthem to Destiny, the best thing I can say is that Destiny didn't have potential when it came to the launch. When Destiny launched, it was like, I want to like you, but I can't. When Anthem launches, I want to love you, but you don't work right. So if that makes any sense to you, that's kind of how I feel with Anthem right now. But with all that said, guys, this was a review. I hope you all enjoy. Leave any thoughts you have in the conversation below. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.